visions in my head. People tell me that I'm crazy. I tell them that's exactly it.
Alright, Mom, are you ready?
I am.
Are you nervous?
A little.
A little. My mom is currently in LA, so I thought we should record an episode. And I kind of dragged her in here, but have you really listened to my podcast before?
I have. I told you I listened to it my entire trip to Austin and back.
You have an accent all of a sudden. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Just the way you said that. She really doesn't have an accent, but it really just came out right there.
You said that when I was on you did something for YouTube before.
You just sound like you have an accent on a mic. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
She, doesn't have one. Okay, so I'm putting my mom in the hot seat. She seems to be a little bit nervous for this one. It's not hard. I'm not, drilling you with questions.
I'm just laughing that you rolled right into that first thing.
Well, if you listen to my podcast, you would know that this is what I do at first, Mom. I do my intro and then I go straight into hot seat. Okay, first question. What is the first thing you do in the morning? And this is a two-part question. So first thing you do in the morning, and then give us your full skincare routine. Because my mom has just now, after all of these years of her life and also of me in my strict routine, especially strict skincare routine, has just now developed a skincare routine, and she's very proud of herself, so I thought I would let her share it with you guys.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for you to tell me how much better my skin looks.
It looks incredible. I'm so proud of you. You've always had good skin. I don't really... Yeah. Okay, anyways.
You want me to go through each product?
Well, what's the first thing you do in the morning? Answer that first.
Wash my face.
Okay.
Brush my teeth.
There you go. So, yeah, what products are you loving? What are you using? What's changing your life?
So I do the Chanel cleanser.
I've used that, and I use that every time I'm at your house, and it dries my skin out. I don't know why.
I was actually reading the other day that said not to use anything that's foaming, so I might need to change that.
Yeah, I feel like it's actually not that. I don't know. I don't like it for myself.
I love the way it feels, though.
Yeah.
And then I do is it glyceric? How do you say that?
What?
Glyceric acid. And then I do, I don't know how to say all these.
You just do serums?
Yes.
Okay.
I have 4 or 5 different serums.
What brand are they?
The Ordinary.
Where can you get that?
Sephora.
There you go. See? Look at you. Your skincare. She's getting really into this. Okay, number 2. What is the biggest mistake you made in your 20s?
Oh, wow. I would say tattoo.
Yeah, she got a tattoo. She regrets that big time.
My stamp.
You don't have to say that, but okay, here we are. We're going there. Okay, number 3. What is the best piece of advice that your mom has given you? Shout out, Maiga. Okay, this is actually a funny story. So the other day, or last night, my mom and I, obviously I was having her take her Enneagram test to find out what she is. And so she was doing research on type 3, and I'm a type 3 wing too. And I also did research to see who I can be friends with depending on our Enneagram types, because people are just really out here being crazy right now. So I'm being very serious about this. And so anyways, my mom was doing research on being a type 3 and whatever and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah, type 3s are really possessive. And I was like, I just don't feel like I'm that possessive. And she's like, Kenzie, your grandmother's name, literally, it's Maiga, and it comes from me because I was little and couldn't say grandma. So I was saying, my grandma. That's where it came from. So, yeah.
I don't think it was because you couldn't say it. You were literally holding on to her saying, Maiga, letting me know this is my grandma. Really, everybody. So
yeah. I was the first grandchild on that side, so still the favorite. It only went downhill after me, but it's fine. Do you have a piece of advice?
Best advice from my mother. Really, I think a lot of it's just no judgment. She's very accepting, and she taught me that. I grew up in an environment that there wasn't a lot of judgments or things placed on anybody, and I so appreciate that.
Yeah. That's why I was saying that earlier. I'm I got a lot of questions of how does your mom feel about this or tattoos or whatever, and I'm I never even thought that my parents would not, and I never felt that I couldn't do something ever. I never felt, well, first off, Dad is the most supportive person in my entire life in that sense, but I don't mean I couldn't do it as I couldn't do it. I just felt like my parents were never going to be no, Yeah. So, another thing too, that it's inevitable, but you literally become they always say you become your mother. I have three stories on this, and I was always no, I was really mean, and I was I'm not going to hear my parents. I literally was I'm so sorry, Mom, that's actually so rude. But The first one actually has to do with Passion Planner. It was the first time my mom came to visit me in LA. So this was like 3 years ago. We were sitting at Umami Burger. Go to Umami, get the truffle burger. It's the best burger you'll ever have in your entire life. Anyways, beside the point. We were sitting at Umami, and we both like pulled out our Passion Planners. Keep in mind, like, I started using it once I moved to LA. I had no idea that she was using it. Like, my mom's not really huge into social media, or like, I post videos every day. Like, she doesn't like see all of that stuff. So she had no idea. So we were both the Passion Plan. We both had Passion Planners. So it was just really something else. Tell the story about the books on vacation.
So yeah, that was the first year. Then the second year, I came up and we actually met in San Diego. And so we go to this nice little spa and go out by the pool, and we both pull out the exact same book. I'm like, man, we are always in sync.
And it's like a self-development book too. Like, keep in mind, I'm literally like, I mean, I'm only 21 now, but I'm like 18. Like, what? I look back at that too, and I'm like, what 18-year-olds are reading those books? Like, that's not normal. Like, I mentioned books. There's one friend that I have that has read the books that I'm talking about, and that's it, and is like into that. Actually, I feel like I have a good amount now, but like no one does that. And then this year, so I guess there's a new one every year. We'll see what we're on to next year. I'm doing the whole food combining thing, and she is also, without even really realizing it, like, it's not, like, the thing that she's following, the person that she's following that's influencing it isn't calling it food combining, but it's a lot of the same ordeals. So we don't even really realize that the other person is doing that, and we literally do the exact same thing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Everything you were talking about with nutrition, I'm like, oh, whoa, that's what I'm starting.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I don't drink coffee in the morning right when I wake up anymore. I've, like, cut that out. I just do hot lemon water. And I'm like, oh, my God, shut up. No, you don't. I was like, of course you do. I was like, do you have fruit with that, too? And she's like, yeah, I do.
Morning only. Yep.
Morning only. Okay, so I asked you guys on the secret Facebook group. If you guys have not joined the secret Facebook group, you guys need to join. It's absolutely incredible. And I always say, like, you're missing out on the podcast. Like, you're only getting 50% if you're just listening. Join the Facebook group. Anyways, I was asking you guys, like, what you guys wanted to hear. I was like, my mom's coming on, like, give me some topics, some questions, some whatever. So my little sister decided that she wanted to comment, and she's just, like, a little bit of, like, smart aleck. Like, Maddie is, like, I don't know how to just, she's just, how would you describe her?
Oh, how long do we have?
She's, like, very...
She's a free spirit. Very charming.
Yeah, free spirit, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
She's, charming, like, really, she's just on one at all times, like, always has something to say.
She's very witty.
Witty, has just, like, never, like, she will, like, fight until, like, she's just really something else. We're very different people. Extremely different. I cannot stress that to you enough. Okay? Yeah. Love her, but we're very, very different. Anyway, so she was commenting, me, how I'm your idol, me again, me, which really brings up a really funny point. So my sister actually moved out of my parents' house, right? And we'll have her on when she's in LA. She loves any sort of attention, so this is really all for her. I always say it's really easy to get people to do podcasts because people love just, like, talking about themselves, so it's, like, pretty simple. Maddie would really thrive here. She would really, as long as there's cameras involved as well, like, she would just really thrive here. So anyways, do you want to tell them a little bit about Maddie's, she moves out, gets her own apartment in pretty much the same town that my parents are both living in. They have, like, multiple houses there. It literally makes no sense that she moves out. She moves out because she's just always right and needs to do it or whatever. So would you like to kind of explain her little transition back into your house and how she snuck back in?
Well, I think we all did that. I remember wanting to be out super early, be on my own. And then you realize, like, man, I could be back home saving a ton of money.
It's because I moved out early, but I would not have moved out had I not moved to another state. So she just had to do what I did, and it was completely different. It was completely different circumstances, and I told her, I was like, Maddie, if I could still live at home, I would. You save so much money. But she won't listen. Like, she will never listen to you. She has to learn by, like, crashing and burning and, like, whatever.
Yeah, she was the kid that you couldn't say, hey, the stove is hot. She had to burn her hand. That's just how she learns.
You couldn't tell her, like, hey, your friends suck for 6 years. She had to realize that herself. Every single time. Oh, my God.
So, no, we love having her there. We joke about it, my husband and I, but...
I don't know how much of a joke it is anymore, but...
So, the problem is she got this adorable dog who is totally her personality because he's well, he's a little shit. But
He's messy.
He's
He's very
charming.
messy.
Like, he's so charming. He will do something that you're, like, rip up your favorite shoes and then look at you with this look that you just absolutely melt.
That's so true. I never thought about it. They are the same.
He's totally her personality.
I've never met a dog who, like, cuddles with you more in your life. It's crazy. He is the sweetest dog. But Maddie goes through a little hard time. And she had already asked. She moved back into my dad's house. It was too far from her, whatever. Wants to move back into my mom's house. She'd already asked my mom, and my mom downsized when she moved out. So she's like, no, we don't have room for you here. And Maddie's like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. She's like, fine. So, important to note that it's a townhouse. It's a condo. Would it be a townhouse? Condo?
No, it's a townhouse.
Townhouse.
And note, there's no yard.
There's no yard for this big dog. No, but it's also very important to know that there's 3 stories, right? The first story is the guest room, which is now Maddie's room. The second story is where, like, my mom and Tim, like, live, their bedroom, kitchen. It's where everyone is, right? So Maddie starts going over there every day because she's, like, crying and with my parents and whatever. And slowly but surely, she starts moving her stuff in to the guest room. And then suddenly, after 3 weeks, I think Tim's just like, I think Maddie's living here.
Yeah, she's literally like, we're you know, Friday night, home, snuggled up, watching movies, and she'd jump in the middle of the bed. Hi guys, what are we doing tonight? I'm like, oh, okay. But no, she was telling my mom all along, like, oh yeah, I just bring in a few things at a time. I'm like,
that's just so Maddie. Like, she would never say no. And then they'll seriously be like, Maddie, like, I really don't think this is working. Like, you really need to, like, figure this out. There's so many other places that she could live for free. Like, this is just literally the least convenient place for her to be living. And she's just like, oh yeah, no. So, like, she'll FaceTime me, and I'm like, have you moved out yet? And she's like, oh, no, they're not serious. But, like, they are serious. Like, it's not like...
No, or she one time she looked at me, she's like, Mom, stop trying to talk me into moving out. I'm not going anywhere.
She just, like, refuses. Like, I've never met someone who she's just like, oh, no. And I'm like, no, Maddie, like, you're seriously causing them, like, stress. Like, I think the respectful thing to do. And then she's just like, oh, yeah, no. But this dog's, like, not trained. It's just this whole thing. It's a whole ordeal. Maddie is really something else. Love you, Maddie, but...
The problem is now I'm so obsessed with him.
He's so cute. Ugh. We'll post photos in the secret Facebook group. He's so cute. And he, like... Actually, like, he literally will, like, cuddle with you through the night. Like, he spoons you. I've never met a dog who does that. Ever. Like, it's nothing like any dog you've ever experienced, I promise.
Yeah, he snuggles you like a newborn. And you literally can pick him up, and he sits on your hip like a toddler. Like, he puts both legs around your waist, and his arms around your shoulders.
Yeah. It's, like,
hilarious.
He also thinks he's, like, 4 pounds.
Yeah.
He's so cute, but he's just so much, and Maddie's just...
It's
so
like
much.
straight out of the Molly and Me movie.
Marley and Me?
Or Marley and Me.
Marley and Me. What a movie. We have a dog that was just like that, but now he's chill. Okay, we're gonna talk about my childhood. Me, your favorite child, you know? Okay, so, yeah, besides your favorite, what was I like as a child?
Oh my gosh, you're so adorable.
Oh, I knew it.
So first grandchild.
On one side.
Yeah, on one side. It's kind of funny, like, most people are so shocked when I tell them, you were really shy.
It's really weird. Anyone who finds that out is like, what? Yeah. I'm, like, easily... It depends on my mood, but if I'm in the mood, I'm, like, the loudest in the room, the most outgoing in the room now. But I was really shy growing up. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that was? Like, it's just weird. It's not me.
I don't know. I mean, part of it, like, we gave you another year before you started kindergarten, and which was a tough decision because you were, like, even in preschool, you were way ahead intellectually, but you were kind of shy and timid, so I just wanted to kind of give you that extra...
Socially.
Yeah. So, but it was interesting, like, in first grade, I can't remember that teacher's name, but we loved
Miss Williams, right?
Is it Miss Williams?
Yeah, Miss Williams.
Oh, she was so awesome. But I remember her telling me, like, she is the silent leader. Like, everybody, if somebody's kind of lost in the classroom and doesn't know, that they look to Mackenzie. Like, you were definitely...
Mackenzie, you never call me that. I forget that's my name sometimes.
Well, back then.
But, like, I was cute, fun, adorable. Keep going, let's hear more about that.
Yes, and possessive. It was very, like, we were laughing, I was telling, we were talking about the story of when Maddie was born, and I was so nervous having another baby because, like...
I was very possessive of my dad, especially.
Yeah.
Like, I was the classic daddy's girl. Like, oh my god.
Well, and so Micah for my grandma, and then it was Maudie for my daddy.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you called him Maudie. Like for a short period. It kind of went away after a while, but yeah, Maudie. So, and she, I mean, I used to get my feelings hurt because she would literally like wake up in the morning and go, we lived, right before we moved to Texas, our master was on the second floor, and you would go downstairs and get
This is so mean.
it was so mean. I think I was
Honey Nut
pregnant.
Cheerios.
Yeah, you would get a thing of, and then 2 bowls, and she would carry it, which, you know, she's like barely 3.
No, I was 2 because Maddie wasn't even born yet. I was like 2.5.
Well, Maddie was born in that. Well, I was in that
okay,
house
whatever.
when she was born. But anyways, so yeah, she'd come back upstairs, and she would like lay in bed and like make them breakfast, and I'm laying there like,
No, I would bring 2 bowls, one for me, one for my dad, and then I would tell my mom to like go get her own. Like I was evil. Like that's so mean. But I just really love my dad. Wait, tell the story about when Maddie was born. Maddie's my little
so
sister.
cute.
She's 2 years, 4 months younger than me.
So because she was, you know, quite possessive, I was worried about this, and we did so much prep. Like we took classes at the hospital, and so all of a sudden we were having a baby. So
Yeah, I thought it was my baby, I think.
yeah, you totally did, but you were totally on board and totally good with it. So she comes in the hospital, and it kills me that I don't have this on video. It was like the sweetest moment ever. She comes in to meet her, and the expression on her face, she was just like, oh, like just in awe of her. And then she starts kind of like whimpering and crying, and Mackenzie's like, oh, where's my sippy? Where's my sippy cup? I need my sippy cup. It was so sweet.
Yeah, and then we fought for probably the next 14 years, so.
Well, we were telling the story the other day of, do you remember going to see Harry Potter? With like the Bridgemans and the
all of our
Hansons
cousins. I'm still very close with my cousins, but it was like there's 3 families of us, and we were always together all the time. I remember going. What happened there?
So we're there, and I can't remember which movie it is, but it's the one with like the 3-headed dogs, and Maddie's really young, and she really loud in the theater. It's like dead silent. She goes, oh, I'm not like doggies, Sissy, and you know Mackenzie's like, I don't know. There's like 10 people in between them, and she goes, Sissy, you're not like doggies either, do you? And everybody in the theater's laughing, and Mackenzie's just like, ugh, rolling her eyes. Like, that's what reminds me, like, after Maddie got a little older, of you. You were just always rolling your eyes at her. Like,
because Maddie was like, well, one, I love my sister to death, but she still brings out the worst in me. There's no one who can bring out the worst in me like Maddie Piper can. Like, really, no one.
I think most siblings can say that.
Yeah, but she's just so, like, we're just so different that, like, she will drive me insane. But, yeah, no. I mean, she was, like, sweet, kind of. My little brother, Cody, that's really,
Do you remember her, like, so Mackenzie would be all ready, and, you know, she literally came out of the womb as this highly productive, organized.
Oh, yeah, I was born like this, absolutely, yeah.
And she did not get this from me. I'm very go flow, whatever. So, spontaneous, and sometimes she wants to kill me.
Yeah.
For that, but she would like.
She was 2 hours late to me picking her up the other day. It was fine. I had to move my nail appointment, but whatever. It was cool. We're good, I guess, now. Yeah, we got over it, so.
But we carpooled, and so my girlfriend would pick her up in the morning, and then I would pick them up in the afternoon, and she'd have everything out ready, and Maddie wouldn't want her to go to school, so she would run, when she noticed Mackenzie wasn't paying attention, she would run and grab her backpack, and I mean, she's like in diapers, young, barely, and she would just take off with her backpack, trying to hide it, so you wouldn't go to school. It was hilarious.
Yeah, she was always making me late, and then we get to high school, right? And Maddie, when I was a junior, Maddie was a freshman, and at first she wasn't at my school. That's so weird to think about her going to the other school. That's crazy. And then she transferred to my school. This is classic Maddie being a diva. So she transfers to the school that I'm at, and also our parents divorced, live in different districts, whatever, so, like, we could just, like, switch schools and whatever. It was really stupid. So Maddie, I was in charge of driving her to school, and we went to the same school. I'm always on time, always ready, 30 minutes before. I have time to sit, do whatever. I probably to this day, I don't think I was ever late to school on my own behalf. Like, it was never my fault. It was always, like, either you or Maddie, basically. Like, I was never late. That's just not me. It's not my... Now I've gotten a little bit better about it, but, like, no, absolutely not. It's just not me. So Maddie would be late every single morning. And keep in mind, like, the only thing I would drive her, we had a playlist that we would listen to because we lived really close, and it was 3 songs. It was, like, something, it was only with, like, Nicki Minaj, like, so vulgar. It would be, like, 6:45 in the morning. We're blasting it on the way into school. Like, we're in, like, the Jeep. We were, like, those girls in high school, like, the sisters who were, yeah, that was absolutely us. And we would blast these songs, but every single morning I would be so mad because she would make me late, and I would tell her we were leaving. You have to tell Maddie you're leaving 25 minutes before, 30 minutes before every single time, and she would always make me late. And then I'd be so frustrated the first, like, 3 classes because she would just really put me in a bad mood. And then she would come and sit with me and my friends at lunch every day, and I'd be like, hi, like, every single time. And I was so mad. And then I would get over it. Yeah. That's exactly what she does.
She has a way about her.
I know, she really does. Okay, was there a defining moment in my childhood when you're like, wow, she's really going to be a star and excel at every single thing that she does? Was there, like, a time that you remember that?
I think we thought that early on. Like, you just have that...
From, like, birth, you'd say. You just kind of knew. Yeah.
Crazy drive and, yeah.
So there's
we never really had to worry about you much. Like, we knew that, you know...
Yeah, I don't think you even ever went to, like, open house. That's the thing, like, I did really well in school, and then I stopped caring about grades. Like, I always did well, but my parents were never, like, you guys were never the parents who, like, really made lunches and, like, were at PTO meetings or PTA meetings, and, like, what's the difference between PTO and PTA?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I was your room mom.
When we were younger, but as we got older, it was, like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped doing that stuff in middle school.
Yeah. It just wasn't, like, my parents didn't really push me much. Like, I just kind of did it myself.
Yeah.
And they never knew. And I had my dad's signature perfectly forged. So, like, every single thing growing up. Because also, the thing is, when teachers make your parents sign things all the time, like, that's kind of, like, disrespectful to their time. Like, that's annoying. Like, it's just too much. So I had my dad's signature perfectly forged, and still sometimes have to use it to this day for my littlest brother stuff.
Yeah.
But not, like, it's never, like, behind your back. It's always, like, he just needs a sign, and it's, like, a stupid thing. What is your favorite memory of me as a child?
Well, I think one of them is the first time you saw Maddie. So adorable.
I know it's probably really hard. There's just a lot, but how would you describe me as a sister? Perfect?
Were you answering for me?
Yeah, I was just, like, giving you some inspiration in case you needed help answering the question. I didn't give her these questions before, so she's really stressed.
You're definitely the big sister, take charge. I mean, you're such a good leader with both of them. They come to you for advice.
You know, Maddie told me in a video that we filmed a few months ago that I was a good role model for her. I have it on camera. She went back on it immediately after, but it doesn't matter. I can edit it.
Oh, I totally believe that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, what do you think my biggest strength and weakness is?
I would say strength is, like, your drive, your productivity, organization.
You know, it's probably really hard to think of a weakness, so if you need a second.
I mean, really, I think your weakness, I just think you're too hard on yourself.
I don't feel like I'm hard on myself at all anymore. I feel like I was growing up, but you said that the other day, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't really feel like... I feel like maybe I used to, like, burn myself out really bad, but, like, I don't feel like I'm really hard on myself. I think I maybe need to be harder on myself now.
Yeah, I think you've come a long way with that, but I think that's like innately in your personality, and you have to...
Yeah, it's a type 3 thing.
Yeah.
Only type 3s get it, you know?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about only, but...
I need to know if all of you guys have taken the Enneagram test, and comment in the secret Facebook group or on the Instagram or something and tell me what numbers you are. In case you're wondering, I do very well with 3s, 2s, 8s, and 9s. That's typically where I like to stay. Yes, a lot of that is based off of, like, you know, just, like, things that haven't had, you know, like, 4s aren't really for me, I've realized. But I don't really know that all across the board. It doesn't mean that if you're a 4, I'm not going to like you. It's just that, like, 3s are very compatible with 2, 3s, 8s, and 9s. So, my mom is what are you, a 9?
I'm a 9 with a wing 2.
Yeah, and I'm a 3 wing 2. So, it's really, honestly, a really big thing. Someone asked, what do you lie to your mom about versus what does your mom lie to you about? So, I think you should go first.
Oh,
I think it all makes sense. What do you have?
I don't know. I don't think I lie to you about anything.
I know. I think I know a little bit too much sometimes. Like, there's stories that you definitely can't tell that are really funny. But, and I don't feel like I lie. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I don't feel like, partly because I, like, don't really, I mean, like, I live a crazy life that's, like, crazy cool, but I don't live, like, I'm not, like, crazy, like, whatever, I'm not, like, at the club all the time, so I don't really, but even then, if I, like, especially when I was drinking all the time, like, I would tell you. It was never a...
Yeah, I think we're pretty open accepting. So I don't know that we lie about anything.
I know. I'm really trying to think about this. Wait, actually, I don't know if I believe you. I believe me. I don't know if I believe you. I would love for you to, like, really dish something out. Like, we can call Tim if we need to.
Yeah, you might have to call Tim on that one. I can't really think of anything.
It's really upsetting to me. Also, I literally grew up on American Girl dolls, and now, oh my god, guys, my niece. I probably have talked about her on this podcast before. Her name is Sophie. She's literally the most perfect child I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's not even, like, yes, I understand that I'm biased because, like, family, whatever. She is the cutest kid I've ever seen. She's the funniest kid. She's so smart. She's so pretty. She's just so funny. I love her. She's my screensaver. Literally, I think we spend half the time talking about her. I think about her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cry. She's so cute. But I grew up with American Girl doll. Like, we were crazy about it. I had Kit Kittredge, in case any of you guys were wondering. And then I don't remember, I had a bunch of other ones, but Kit and I were like tight. You would get them?
Kit was your first.
Kit was my first, and you were supposed to get American Girl dolls kind of based off of what you looked like. Like, you could have dolls made to look like you, but we didn't. I mean, I think we did that later. But Kit and I had this, like, connection. I don't know. She's from the Great Depression. Literally, guys, I'm not kidding. To this day, my highest test scores in history, I don't think I've even told you this, are from the Great Depression era. Because I read all the Kit Kittredge books when I was younger, and they actually, like, I don't know what it is. Like, obviously, it's not, like, crazy knowledge, but for some reason, and it has to be American Girl. I would bet my whole life on it. It came from that and knowing Kit, or not knowing Kit, but, like, reading all the Kit books. I literally feel like I know Kit, like, and go way back. Remember when we were flying to St. Louis and I lost all 3 of the dolls? Like, they all got scraped. I was so heartbroken.
Oh, I do.
Oh, my God. I literally brought all 3 of my American Girl dolls to St. Louis with us for Christmas one year. And our bags got damaged, and the dolls, all their legs got scraped. Oh my god, I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
Maddie and I still talk about that.
Yeah, you were crushed.
It was a really big loss, but I'm really excited because now I'm going to take Sophie for Christmas to American Girl doll. We're going to have a day. There's a store in Dallas. We can go get, like, the tea and the whole thing.
Oh,
yeah.
She'll love it.
She'll love it.
Does Grandma Meal get to go?
Oh yeah, she calls my mom, which is so funny that my mom's a grandma, by the way. Like, it literally still makes me laugh. Also, my mom looks, like, very young. Like, she's a very, like, hot mom. I have a very bright future, thank God. But it's, like, I can't believe you're a grandma. It's just so funny to me. But my mom's name is Melissa, and everyone calls her Mel. And so Sophie calls her Grandma Mill.
Grandma Meal.
Grandma Meal. Grandma Mill. She's literally, I've never met someone cuter in my entire life. Okay, so what is it like having a daughter who, like, does what I do? Like, when I first started doing it, what did you think of it?
I mean, I was proud of you. I just, like, you literally started this without even telling us. Like,
yeah, I don't remember even having a conversation. Like, when did I tell you?
You had already started, and you came to me and told me about it and said, my goal is, like, literally the time that you told me, my goal is to be signed by someone within 6 months, and we got an offer in a month.
Did I really say that?
Yeah.
So I had to have been a few months in. I wanted to sign, and then I signed with a network that was horrible. I'm like, whatever. But they actually they just dissolved this past month.
Yeah, we did not do enough research. And then we signed 2 years. That was bad.
Yeah, always be very careful with contracts. It was like, I was young, it was like all exciting, my channel was growing, whatever. And like at this time, this certain company, everyone wanted to sign with them. I literally took a photo like signing the contract. Like I was like literally, it was so exciting. I was 16, like, yeah, it was a big thing. And then they it ended up being bad. I ended up getting out of the contract though, with some legal work, but I did get out.
Yeah.
It was not good. But what do you like? What is it like? I mean, I was in Forbes, so let's not forget that.
That's right. Forbes, baby. No, I love it. I'm so proud of you. Your work ethic is like off the charts, crazy, and I love it. I'm so proud of you. It's so funny. Like even when I run into like old clients and people I haven't seen forever, they're all, "How is your daughter? How is
My mom was a big Facebook mom. Big Facebook mom over here. Really big one. So you would say, like, out of your 3 children, I'm your favorite.
I don't have favorites.
That's not true. You literally tell Cody he's your favorite.
Oh, well, yeah, when we vacation, we do joke. I always have a favorite kid of the day.
It's always Cody. Why is it never me?
But literally the girls, I joke about this, and they're like, yeah. They're like, well, if we had the choice between us 3, he would be our favorite.
Cody would absolutely be our favorite. He He's 16 now. He's so cute. When he was younger, he was so sweet and adoring, and then he went through his kind of like, you know, not so nice teenage years, and now he's kind of coming back. I feel like the past year he's really made like a full circle back to his true self. He's way nicer. Like, I come home and he makes me snacks. Now he's kind of over it because I ask for them, but when I don't ask for them, he'll make them. It's very cute. We always go to Whataburger like late at night. But Cody, every boy I feel like under the age of, I would say 14 and under. I hope at 14, 15 you start to order something different at Starbucks, but I would go as far, like he's 16 still doing this. They all get a vanilla bean frappuccino. It is the most basic Starbucks order, and it's like definitely because like their middle school girlfriend or their older sisters are ordering it for them. Like, that's exactly what's happening. And Cody, it's not a girlfriend, it's like his sisters have been ordering it for him for forever. I have been moved out for almost 4 years at this point. I promise you, I would bet my entire life on the fact that this kid has called me well over 100 times since I moved out 4 years ago, asking what his Starbucks order is. I'm like, just put it in my contact, put it in the notes, whatever. So he was like out of town this past weekend, and he called me 4 times in 24 hours, and I don't think he has Twitter, but someone must have sent him my tweet about it. So then he thought it would be funny to like keep calling me and asking me the order, but he always says that, like, he'll call me and he'll be like, hey, what's my Starbucks order? Like, not cordial, not like, hi Kenzie, how are you? Like, plays no games, and I'm like, it's a vanilla bean frappuccino. He's like, okay, bye, like immediately. So he just kept doing that.
No, love you, thanks, miss you.
No, absolutely not. And then I'll text him like, love you. I texted him literally, I think probably the nicest text I've sent to anyone. You should read it. You probably would cry. No reply. Not even a response. And then he texted me like a week later because his Spotify was messed up because I changed my cards and I forgot I was paying for his stuff. So he needed my card number is what he needed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But other than that, super sweet, perfect, really nice, really something else. But he just, yeah.
He is super sweet. Big heart.
Okay, a lot of people are asking, how do you cope with living so far? Like, what is it like? How does it change your relationship? Whatever.
Yeah, that part's tough. Especially really the last 2 years, because you used to come home a lot more.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, it was easier because we got to see her a lot more. Where now it's, you know, like I come here every June, but then I won't see you again maybe till Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So that part's tough. But I love it. We just, you know, I gotta get out. I mean, my schedule's a little different now, so I can get out here more, so.
Yeah, I'm really trying to get her and my stepdad to move out here. I think it's working to my benefit. I told her, I was actually telling my friend this the other day, because he's like, what are you doing with your mom when you're here? And, like, he's, like, king of restaurants, so half of what we're doing is because of him. And so I was like, well, I really have to make this trip perfect, because I do have ulterior motives. And I explained this to my mom. I was like, I really want her and my stepdad to move out here. My brother graduates in 2 years. I really think the chances are pretty likely. Like, my stepdad and, like, his family before lived in California. Like, I'm like, I don't think the odds are really that off. And they're not going to feel like they really need to be there. Like, people are going to be gone. Like, I really think it's good. So that was the first thing I said yesterday when I picked her up. I was like, Mom, I have to be honest with you. I have very ulterior motives. So I'm really hoping that this happens. And I think it would be very good.
I've got reasons for my absence. People tell me that I'll burn out. I tell them I'm not like the rest, but if